Hi there everyone, Mr. McCarthy here with this week's video update for Friday, May 10th. Hope you're all doing well. So just to keep you up to date on what's going on in here in the program, I'm currently working with the level 1 students to learn a new program called Adobe Illustrator. So essentially what it lets you do is it lets you draw on the computer to create any type of graphics, drawings, logos. So what we've been doing here in the program all year is we try to teach a little bit of everything. So it's like almost like an entrepreneurial type of program where you can create your own, hopefully, you create your own logo and do your own photography, video production, audio production. So when you go out after graduation, you're way more marketable and you have way more opportunities in the field because you learn a lot of different things. So this week, I'm telling them to create their own brand, their self-branding for their business. So this week, I taught them Adobe Illustrator, how to work with the basic shapes and colors and how the software works. Drew some fun things. I made them do a winter landscape. So they were drawing snowmen and Christmas trees and ice skating and things like that. Just something fun to do to get them interested in the program. So now what they're going to be working on is actually the logo design for their business. So I did a whole presentation on the do's and don'ts on logo design, the use of color, how do you create a logo, like what are the elements that go into a good logo, and I show them ones, like popular ones like Coca-Cola and Nike and Starbucks and things like that. So actually by the end of today, they have a logo design sheet where they have to sketch them out. And next week they're going to start their logo designs. And then the last part of that component is like actually starting their own business. So they are actually going to write a proposal to a bank for a small business loan. And they're going to have a budget that I'm going to give them to be able to fit their studio space with the equipment that they need. So if they're going into audio production, video production, photography, computer graphics, I'm going to cover, the cost of computers and cameras and equipment and mixing and stuff like that. So it's actually a really fun project for them because, you don't just walk into a bank and say, give me money legally. So, this is a fun way to kind of show them like, look, if you're serious about starting your own business, there's some hoops you have to jump through, like applying for a loan, having a business plan. And they're actually going to use Adobe Illustrator to do a blueprint of what their studio space is going to look like, how it's going to be laid out, where the equipment's going to be, et cetera, et cetera. So it's actually a really fun project for them. So we're currently working on that. Mr. Folk students are wrapping up some projects right now, and they're working on their own individual pieces. We call them capstone projects. So it really gives them an opportunity as seniors, out of all the things that they learned, that they can pick their own project. They set the parameters, we okay it, and then they can work on their project. So if they love photography, they're doing photography. They love video, they're doing video. So that's been working out really well. The last component, and is very important, is our OSHA certification. So every school is required in career and tech ed to offer some sort of certification when they leave here. We do a very basic one called the OSHA 10. It's a National Institute for Safety, and they get a 10-hour course that they take here for free. We pay for it. It's like $75. So they take the course. It talks about things like proper safety in the workplace, lifting things, using a ladder, how to use a fire extinguisher, important stuff. And they can take these cards that they get when they're done and use them to apply for jobs, to be able to show that they have these certifications. I've actually had students show these cards that they're, even at just a standard high school kid job working at McDonald's or Target, where they have these safety cards and they get a raise because they've taken this national standardized testing for safety, so they know they're going to be safe in the workplace. So I know some of the kids give some blowback, like, why do I have to do this? I'd rather be doing my design work, but it is important, and it is, a pathway to graduation for them to have these certifications, just as there are the Keystones and our NOCTI assessment. OSHA is a very important part of it. And what I've been telling them to do, they can work on this stuff from home, on a home computer, on their phone. It's really just, you have to sit there, you have to put in a minimum of 10 hours because it's a state requirement. So you may blow through an entire module on safety, like how to use ladders, in 10 minutes, but sadly you kind of have to sit there and wait 40 minutes for the allotted amount of time to be able to take the final assessment. And that's why I tell them, open it up on your phone, do your work in the class, or do it over the weekend. If it's raining out, it's going to be lousy outside, you can get it done. Every Friday for the last month, I've been making it OSHA Day for students to catch up. So hopefully within the next week, I'm going to generate a list of kids that are behind, and you may hear from me because, as I said, it's very important that they have to get the certification done. So if you can encourage, it's only the first level. It's only if it's your first year here as a student. If you're a senior, you already took it last year. So if you're a brand new student this year, or your child is a brand new student of this program for this year, they have to take the assessment, okay? So mention it to them that it's on your radar and you know that it's a requirement, and just kind of nudge them, make them show you the login that they're working on it, and I would really appreciate it. So, and there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Plymouth White Marsh Junior Prom is today. I know there's another prom next week, and another prom, and another prom. We also have Keystones next week. Not us, but our sending schools, obviously. So we might not see half of our students, juniors, next week, because they'll be taking Keystones. So, we're just trying to roll with the schedule because we do have 4 different districts that send here. So we always ask our students, please understand and know what your schedule is. We know when we're here, but sometimes they're not. So please keep an eye on their schedule as things change. And as I mentioned before, our graduation is at Norristown Area High School at 7 p.m. on May 30th. You can go to the link to our cmths.org website, and all the information you need is there. So that's it. If you have any other questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask, and I hope you have a great weekend. Take care.